Khan Khan. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom also to the one God Israelites, which include you Judah's children, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Indians, who are still oppressed together according to the book of Jeremiah 50 and 32, but to whom so late pertained their adoption, the giving of the law, the promises, the glory, and the covenants, according to the book of Romans, chapter 9, just in case you don't read. Okay, and today we want to talk about feelings, okay? Are there feelings in the scriptures, and if, how they are described, and how they are, how is the scriptures talking about it? Okay, and this is Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, who can know it? Okay, and the heart means your mind. So basically, if you talk about feelings, feelings can only come from the mind, because the mind is the so-called heart, what these worldly people would say. Okay, your heart, your feelings, you know, your love, your heart, your feelings, which love is a lie. Okay, there's only your mind, and there's a thing that pumps blood to your body. Okay, it's just common knowledge sense. Okay, there's a thing that pumps blood to your body, and there's something called mind, which you maybe think it's a feeling, but it's not a feeling, it's just your mind. Okay, that is just the truth. So guess what? The scriptures talks about that your mind is deceitful. Okay, so whatever your mind says to you, okay, oh, there is no God, oh, I don't have to keep the laws, you know, things like that, is maybe a lie, because eventually you will find out eventually you will find out that there is one. Eventually you will find out that your deceitful mind tricked you. Okay, okay, just because you don't see a car accident happening in your life doesn't mean that it happened to nobody. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Okay, think for yourself. Let me read it again. Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Can't, like I said, man. Just because you don't see God doesn't mean that He doesn't exist. Okay? Just because you can see wind doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Okay? Like I said, man. A car accident, just because it never happened in your life, doesn't mean that it never happened in somebody different life. Okay? You know, we can do it all day, man. It's the same principle all day, all the time, the same principle, talking about the same thing. Okay, just because the deceitful mind tricks you, okay, it doesn't mean that everybody is tricked that way. Okay, Proverbs 14 and 12 to 13. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Exactly. You see, so it may seem right to you to, you know, to and not keep the law and things like that, because, you know, I don't know, your church told you you don't have to and things like that. But in the end, it's the way of death, because the scripture tells you you have to keep it, and you have to first listen to the scriptures and look for the truth, and then to somebody in a especially a governmental um, constitution talks to you, okay, if he really says the truth, okay, especially then you have to be aware of the fact that most people are lied to, okay, that's why the scripture talks about the leader that are leading the sheep to the slaughter. Guess who are the sheep going to the slaughter? Exactly, you see. But at the end thereof are the ways of death. Proverbs 12 and 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. You see. So you think, oh, this is everything good what I do, you know, I don't have to keep the law, I don't have to go to camp, do videos or nothing like that, because I believe in my heart, and that's it. Okay, that God exists. But did we not read did we not read here, you know, you see? Oh, your heart, man. Okay, your heart is basically something, you know, which is more deceitful than even the church leader of yours, okay? Okay, your own heart, man. That's what the scripture says, okay? The heart is deceitful above all things, okay? So don't be tricked, man, okay? The way of a fool, Proverbs 12 and 15, is right in his own eyes, you see? But he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. And what would be the counsel, okay? The elders and apostles of the wisdom, for example, teaching the truth on the internet all day long, okay? That is wise counsel. That is wise counsel. That is counsel that is important for your studies uh, to become a real, what is it? A real, God of, a real man of, God, man. Okay, because you can't be a man of God if you, put your heart, which is deceitful, above, the scriptures, man. Okay, let me say it in the, video theme way. Okay, if you put your feelings about the scriptures, okay, your feeling may even seem or is right, but in the end it has to do with patience. For example, my feeling is that it's not allowed to um, make laws in a state where I'm right now. Okay, talking about you can marry girls when they're 18. Okay, there's a law that says basically, oh, if the parents are involved and agree, you can also marry her with 16. But really, they say basically 18. Okay, which you are a woman way earlier anyway. Okay, it's not allowed to do that. Okay, the scripture talks about woe to them. Okay, which means destruction to them who do these laws. Okay, okay. Like the scripture talks about flower of her age, which is when she has a period, which is way earlier. Okay, which is the real woman. Okay, so really you marrying a grandma here in Germany. Okay, anyway, okay, it's not allowed to do that. That's my feeling. But the truth is, the scripture says, have patience and wait for the kingdom. And guess what, man? It will be all right then. Okay, when the time is uh, when the time is here, okay, there will be no laws basically that are um, basically pushing this evil dog of okay um, marrying grandmas. Okay, which marrying grandmas makes no sense, man. Okay, if you think about it, because you want a fruitful woman, you want a woman that gives birth to a child, okay, and you don't want a grandma to raise your child, man. Okay, not raise. Okay, it's okay that a grandma can raise a child. I mean, you don't want a grandma to be the mother of your child. Okay, for example, think about your child wants to do some sports and things like that, and sometimes the mother does the sports with her child. Okay, a grandma can't do that. Okay, because she's so old, she needs care for herself, man. Okay, she not even can go if she's in that uh, in that case. Okay, there are different cases. If she's in that case, she cannot even go to toilet on her own. Okay, so how can she do sports with her daughter? Exactly, she can't. Okay, so that's why you don't want a grandma as your children's mother, man. Okay, so there you go, man. Okay, that's the reason why this should not be allowed. Okay, but it is allowed here in Germany, and it's the law actually. If you do anything about it, okay, you will be imprisoned even. Okay, and you better believe that you start, uh, you know, from 10 years uh prison time and more, man. You better believe that. It's not just forbidden; it's also kind of like the most what is it? Most criminal, as they call it. Okay, most criminal cases have to do with that. Okay, look that up. Okay, especially in Germany, as I said, it's also in America that way, and in other states even, man. Okay, I don't even know a state anymore besides Japan. Okay, that comes near to the truth when it comes to laws in that matter. Okay, but besides Japan, I don't know any country that has laws that have anything to do with uh, not marrying. a grandma, okay? Because really you don't want to marry a grandma, like I said. Anyway, but that's, like I said, it's feeling based and it's, of course, scripture based, okay? Yes, it should be different, but the scripture, like I said, okay? Because, for example, if I would not have that problem, I would maybe think that I am in the kingdom, okay? Already. I would not have to study and, and uh, teach the truth anymore, tell the truth anymore, man. Okay, I would think that I'm in the kingdom straight, man, already, man. Okay, and every brother has his own lot and different problems and uh, things that he has to take care of in his life. Okay, coming to the point where you have to think about uh, the difference between your feelings and your interpretation compared to what it really is. Okay, and what it really is most of the cases really something that you wish it to be better, but in the end you have to have patience and you have to wait for it. For what? Exactly. You have to wait for a better world time. Okay. You have to wait for a better situation. Okay. Not just for you alone, but for your whole nation. Okay. Which is the kingdom exactly of Yahweh Shai and for all the people. Okay. But first and foremost, the Israelites, which are the blood descendants first and foremost of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, which shows you already that there's a people first, then a land mass. Okay. Anyway, with that, I'll put it to you.